Hey everybody, what's up? You're back. I'm back. Thank you. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tanisha Portier. I'm a global innovator for the 21st century, and I know that you all are here because you are also global innovators and you're ready for something different, something new, something refreshing, right? You're looking for a change in your life, and some of you are already experiencing a huge transformation, right? Like a huge change, but it's like, but you're seeking more. Like you know that there's more to this transition, and you're looking for possibly answers, and just some guidance along the way. So I have just some things that I want to share with you while you're on your journey and while you're experiencing all these things. Number one, I want to say that it is so important that you trust your intuition when you're on this path. So you can, get the advice from other people. You can, you can't Google everything. I'm going to tell you this one more time. You cannot Google everything, right? Because Google, again, is a compilation of other people's opinions, ideas, and experiences. Now, it can go for some things, but not everything. So, because of that, I have my ring light on. I thought I did. But anyway, I don't know what's better or brighter, but it's part of the show. Anyway, so the reason I say that is because when we try to like Google so many different things and look at this video, watch this person, listen to this video, I mean, it gets a little bit overwhelming. And trust me, I've been there, done that. It's just like, okay, I feel like more information overload. And so it can happen. And when you are definitely looking for a direct answer, your intuition is going to be able to help you. How does it feel? How does it feel when you ask yourself when you're going to take that next step? How does it come across to you? So, if you're going to do something, for an example, okay, I feel like I'm going to invest in this new business, right? And the first thing you can do is you can see how it feels. Now, of course, you have to do the strategies, you have to put in the work to research, to add up the numbers, to see if it all works well, to see if it goes with your schedule, to see if it's even, some of your principles and values and morals. All of those things have to play in a factor. But one of the most powerful tools that you can use when you're making decisions, and again, I'm using an example for like investing in a business or something. How does it feel like when you think of it? Now, feelings can sometimes throw you off and be deceiving, especially if you already have your mind set on something. You see, we can be so emotionally involved or attached in something that we feel like, okay, well, I'll feel like this is it. This is a thing for me. And our feelings can get us on this roller coaster. And before you know it, it's just like we can't see very clearly. However, our intuition is what is going to help us to get over and through and get us answers, the direct answers. And so when I say intuition, I'm also saying tapping into our higher selves, God, right? The creator. So knowing and trusting and seeing how we feel when we talk to God and we say, God, this is my idea. I want to invest. I feel like this is something cool that I can do. I want to invest in this company, right? For an example. And then you take it to God and your intuition, you're going to get a gut like feeling, your first reaction. And they always say women have like the best intuition, right? They may feel or know or sense some things. However, when you're making that decision, you're going to go with that feeling that you have first. And then also you're going to tin it up, right? You're going to take it to God and you're going to be like, look, God, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm thinking about. And you can accompany that with God's word. You can research the scriptures. You can study. You can pray. You can meditate. You can fast just to make sure that you're on the right path. Because again, we can get excited in our emotions and we've already had our mind set on it. And so when you hear this video, you're like, okay, I already felt like this is it. Yes, now take your feelings away and consult with God. You see, because when we put ourselves in the counsel of God, we're never going to be wrong. And so what we feel and what we know and what God is leading us to is going to help us to be able to bring it all together. So, number one, yes, go with your feeling, go with your gut instinct. Then research it, look up the Word of God, look to see what God is saying about something. Study to show yourself approved. If you're going to go into business, do you have, the skills, the talents, the ability to be able to handle the investment, the new project that you're putting on your shoulders? Do you also have the tools? Do you have the support? Do you have the guidance? And so before we jump into something, it could be a friendship, it could be a new job, it can be a huge purchase, it can be letting things go, it can be a lot of different things. We have to look at the cost. So when we're on the brink of new and big and different and exciting, we have to make sure that we're including God in everything. Because when we include God in everything, our instinct, our feeling is going to line up. And we're going to understand that we'll be able to hear the still small voice of God. We'll be able to know, oh man, God, like I was so excited about this thing. But the more and more I talk to you, the more and more I consult with you, that it's not exactly a no, but it's not right now. And that's the cool thing about God when you consult Him. It's not necessarily that you're never going to be able to do it, or you're never going to be able to have it, or you're never going to be able to invest in that business. It's just possibly you need to wind back, take some steps back, and think about what else you have as a priority right now, or what other things that you can do at hand, that you don't even have to go out and invest, but you can invest and you can put that time back into yourself, that you can do something that is going to bring you equal or more value on your own. And so the reason why I say your gut is because I have to bring these things up, because we can say, oh, go off of how you feel. Yes. But then when you go off of how you feel, pair it up with God's word. Pair it up with what God is telling you. Pair it up with what you are hearing from God, what is so clear and obvious, because those no's are just not right now. And then you can say, when you say, okay, you know what, let me take a step back. I had these feelings, I wanted to do it, but I talked to God. Good thing, because it helped me to know that in many situations, I just can't go off of what I feel. And let me be clear, because when there's another video I'm going to drop, and when I talk about feeling, I'm talking about a manifestation. You can feel your way into a manifestation. But in this reference, I'm talking about feeling yourself into the answers that you need when you're seeking guidance, when you're seeking direction, when you're seeking support, when you're on a brink of a great move, a huge transition, something that is so big that it's like you can't go alone. Like, your intuition is going to be your first meter, then you're going to talk to God, which is that meter reader, and you're going to know exactly what it is. Let me give you an example. Okay, this is a true story. So I'm not a big I'm not a big animal person per se, like with like having a pet. And I had pets all growing up, dogs, piranhas, birds, just fish. Like, I had like a lot of different pet animals. Well, opportunity came up to me where I seen some little puppies. Listen, and so I was like, oh my gosh, this puppy was so cute. Like, it could fit into like your hand, and they don't even grow that big. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, do it shed? And they was like, no, don't shed. I was like, oh, whoa, like, this is it. Like, I want this puppy. Like, how can I get this puppy? And so they were like, oh yeah, they're selling more. The owner, she's giving them away right now. And so, you could possibly get it at this price and X, Y, and Z. And I was like, oh my gosh, that'll be awesome. And so we talked about it, we did the numbers, and then we were just like, okay, cool, I'm getting this pet. I'm getting this pet. And lo and behold, I had this in my mind because I don't even go like I want a rabbit. Like before I get a pet, like that's my thing. Like I was like, I want a rabbit or fish. Like that's it. So but right now, but let me finish this story. So I was just like, I'm looking at like the situation, like what I'm doing, what I'm, working on and all these different things in my schedule and such. And I was like, oh man, this would be great for my kids. They would love, to have a puppy. So here I am. Here I am up here, like already like figuring out like, okay, where's the puppy gonna go? Like, okay, what's gonna, two on the clock. So what I'm gonna have like prepared for the puppy and this and that. And listen, so I get down to it. I'm like, oh my gosh, like my schedule was so busy. This is a brand new puppy. Like, and I was like, to me, like animals are so important, like so important, especially like a little baby puppy. I'm like, okay, I gotta treat this little dog like a little baby. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, do I have the time right now? I know I want it. I feel like I want it. It was so cute. Like, it was just like, oh my, and like you can really pick it up, with your hands. And so I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm not even for animals like that. It was just something emotional, something I felt, right? That I felt like, man, I needed it. I wanted it. I was like, okay. Went back and I was just like, okay. I had some days to think about it. I was like, my schedule, this, and that. I'll try to figure it out. Have my kids, watch them, and then we'll work it out. Next thing you know, I started thinking about it. I was like, God, now I know I feel it. I know I want it. I know I can manifest this puppy. They already said, they're going to get it. And so then I'm just like, God, is this really what you want me to do? Is this really what you want me to have at this point in my life? Like, you know, because again, I'm not like a big animal person, but that puppy just like really was so cute. God. And so I was like, the more and more I thought about it, God was just like, I know you probably want a puppy for your kids, for you, but not right now. Like, not even right now. And I was like, what, God? Like, I already know how to do it. And then I was like, wait, Tanisha, just chill out. Just like, listen. Just, you consulted God. You were feeling this way. Like, you were going off your instinct. Like, this is something that you wanted. But then when you went to God, they were like, you have all of these things going on. You have, you're just so many things on your plate. And right now, it's not a no, but it's a not right now. And I took a deep breath and I was like, whew, you know what? It is a not right now because I know what my goals, my aspirations, my dreams are. And it's just like that would literally be like another baby for me. And I'm like, I'm taking like so good care of this puppy if I had it. So, long story short, I apologized to the owners. I said, you know what? After thinking about it and giving much thought, my schedule with everything I have going on, I'm not going to be able to get this puppy, at this time. Hopefully, we can revisit in the future and see. They were very understanding, thankfully. And I was just like, I felt like a full relief, like over me, like God's presence, just like, do you see? Because now look, you had to go and do this event, you had to go and do that. How do you feel like, if you were doing this and that, and what if the puppy, these things happen? How were you going to be able to juggle all those things and still take care of what you need to take care of? And I'm like, whoa, God, like you right, like thank you. And I felt like, oh man, I didn't get, the little puppy, but I got an answer from God. I got clarity from God. I got to sit back and like really talk to God and ask and listen, right? And listen beyond what I thought or beyond what I felt to get a balanced, clear cut word. And it was up to me to obey. It was up to me to listen because I could have overpassed that because God gives us free will, right? I could have like easily jumped, skip, hopped over what I heard, you know. And then where would I have been? And I'm just like, look, God, I'm trying to follow you. Like I'm trying to listen to you. I'm not trying to. Tell me what it is I need to know, what I need to do. So as I did that, I had such relief, such peace, such joy, and and I was just like, you know what? Puppies will be here, and I will have the time, and my kids will have, a puppy, um, or rabbit, or fish. You know what I'm saying? Like fish, we can rock all day. I could just throw some food in the aquarium. I've always had fish, so I was like, you know, well, that's the example that I'm using, and maybe your example is something more far-fetched, yes, and maybe you're just going off these feelings, but God is saying, hold up, wait a minute. You know what I mean? Like I got a part two to that. It's not a no, it's a not right now, because I got some other things in the works for you. And there's some things that you have to get off, you jump off, so that we can get you to where you can just be like, you can give that full time, or you can give more time to, um, yeah, a little pet, a little dog. So that's my example, but it rings solid for me. It may ring solid for some. It may not resonate with you at all. And you know what? That's okay. It's part of the show. It's not always for everyone, and I know my channel is not for everyone, but for the global innovators like me, who it is for, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for listening and watching the video. I'm so grateful and thankful. Also, my new book. Oh my goodness, if you didn't see up above, my new book, Power Soul. That is the title, Power Soul. Awaken your gifts, ignite your purpose, and manifest your dreams. It's available on March 14th, oh wait, April 14th. April 14th. I'm super excited, but you can get your pre-sale orders now. I'm going to post a link so that you'll be able to do that. And thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Tanisha Portier. I am a global innovator for the 21st century. So I know, feel, see, say, touch, taste, believe that I am here to create. I'm here to cultivate my natural gifts and talents by first starting off by helping and healing myself, my family, and then the world. So wherever you are, whether it's morning, noon, or night, I am blowing kisses to the globe. Have a beautiful day, and as always, smile.